The Patriots beat the Bills in a Week 7 game here in Foxborough. I'm Meredith Gorman, joined by our NESN Patriots beat reporter Zack. And Zack, look, this offense looked completely improved. Mac Jones looked miles better than he has in past weeks. What do you think was the key to making them be so successful on offense today compared to weeks past?
I think the biggest change is what you saw up front. The Patriots offensive line played better than it has at any point this season. They made the big change at right tackle, finally putting Micah Wenu out there, moving him over from right guard. That's a move that fans and media members have been calling for really since early last season. Bill Belichick really reluctant to do it, thinks that Micah Wenu is more natural at guard, but they've just struggled so heavily at that right tackle spot. Finally was willing to make that move, and it made a huge difference. Patriots' protection in front of Mac Jones was so much better in this game than it had been in previous weeks. The run blocking was good as well. Certainly still some things to clean up for the Patriots offense. They've got to be better in the red zone. But for Mac Jones to stage that game-winning drive that he did at the end of this game, that's something we've really never seen him do in his Patriots career. I think it's a big confidence builder at a time where this team and this offense really needed it.
Yeah, I was going to go into that next. You talk about it being a confidence-building win. Although the guys in the locker room have said after games that they've lost in the past few weeks that they're not lacking confidence in themselves, how much does a win like this help them in terms of their team identity and also just like showing them they can overcome the adversity that they've faced this season?
Well, look, I don't know if signature win is just kind of a media construction, but you look back at what the Patriots have done ever since Mac Jones joined this team. They really don't have one of those signature wins, a victory against kind of a full-strength opponent, a good quarterback on the other side, a game where they were trailing late and they had to come back and win. That's what today was. The Patriots probably should have lost this game. It's a game that we've seen them lose plenty of times. They led by double digits with about six minutes remaining in the game, really crumbled down the stretch, allowed 2 late Bills touchdowns. And when Josh Allen had that quarterback sneak to put Buffalo ahead with around 2 minutes remaining, you kind of said, all right, I guess this is another one of those Patriots losses. And I think a loss in this game would have just been absolutely crushing for the Patriots, both because it would have dropped them to 1-6 on the season, and because it would have just been completely demoralizing to have a win like that come so close. But they were able to pull it out in the end, and now if you're the Patriots, you have to hope that this is kind of a momentum builder moving forward. They're still pretty far back in the playoff race. We don't know what this team's going to look like after the trade deadline, but there's finally some positive momentum, which really hasn't been the case around this team for quite a while.
Yeah, that game really went down to the wire in the fourth. The Bills were able to catch up, but going into this game, obviously the Patriots were underdogs. Were you surprised by how well the Patriots defense played, or do you think that the Bills offense kind of dropped the ball a bit?
I think it's a little bit of both. I was surprised at how effective the Patriots were at getting after Josh Allen in this game, considering they were down Matthew Judon, they were down Keon White, no Josh Uche in this game. That's 3 of their top edge rushers. They're really undermanned in the front 7, and they were able to hassle Allen really throughout this game. I believe they only had 1 or 2 actual sacks, but they forced him out of the pocket a lot, were able to get him off his spot, get him off his game. Didn't really beat them much with his legs either. And then downfield, Stephon Diggs had probably his least effective game that he's had against the Patriots. This is a guy that's just absolutely killed every New England defense he's faced in the past. He did have a late touchdown in this game off of some missed tackles, but overall 6 catches, 58 yards, 12 targets. Those were pretty low by Diggs' usual standards against the Patriots. This is also a guy that's seeing basically more targets than anybody else in the NFL. I asked Jack Jones about this after the game. He said, how many yards did he have? I said, I don't know, 50-something? He's like, yeah, he wasn't a problem for us today. So this was, speaking of confidence builders, I think having a performance like that against an offense that's this talented definitely is something that can boost up this Patriots defense for sure.
Sure, and one observation I made from the sideline, you talked about Patriots players that are injured, the defense missing Matthew Judon. He's been on the sideline despite, being on IR
Huge
after
energy
that.
today.
Huge energy, and also we saw him throwing the ball to fans before the game with both of his arms, and he just had bicep surgery. His mobility, the way he was moving, his arms around there, hyping up the team, could be a good sign, right, in terms of his recovery?
Yeah, the report out there is that he still hopes that he can come back before the end of the season. I think the Patriots' fortunes over these next couple of games probably will dictate that a little bit. I imagine he'll be less inclined to come back if they're 2-10 at that point, rather than if they're in the playoff race. But yeah, it's clear he's still very involved in the team. Players have raved about the kind of energy that he brings. You could see it today. He was jumping all over the place on the sideline. He was hyping people up. So the fact that he's still able to bring that element, even though he's obviously not going to be on the field for quite a while, I think he can still help them out behind the scenes and on the sideline during these games.
You can tell he really wants to be out there too, Zach. But the Patriots are going to have another division game next week in Miami against the Dolphins. Make sure to follow along with NESN for all of your Patriots coverage.
PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.